Alright, so I'm gonna try and explain what is going on throughout the hack here. Just like basically explain what's going on, what the solutions are, and a bit technical, not too complicated, but a bit technical. So, Yoshi is well made and, really, really well made and not janky and just well made. And not janky at all, actually. It's really well made. Yeah. Super well made. So, a lock to open, first level. You start off with a pretty basic setup. You have the... Damn it, stupid tiles. There we go. You have the two Yoshi blocks. You have the shell and Sprite Salt 7. You have the key in over here, which doesn't matter which slot it is in. And the rock, which also doesn't matter which slot it is in. So, as the thing is spawning here, as Yoshi's spawning here, you tongue the shell, but never actually finish eating him. Which in turn makes the game confused and thinks the Yoshi you are currently on is still eating whatever's in Sprite Salt 7. Whilst the other one's spawning, so it pauses the eating of the sprite. So now, you kick the sprite so it despawns so you have a slot 7 empty. Then you get onto the other Yoshi and let him run. As he's running, he'll just walk off the level. And then when the other Yoshi spawns around here, you can see he will swallow the keyhole. And then you can see the hitbox of the key and the keyhole overlap, and you finish the level. This one, pretty basic again. Spawn to Yoshis, you don't even have to actually do anything here. Just drop the Yoshi, get back on him, and then despawn this Yoshi. So you can see there's a difference in hitbox sizes when the Yoshi despawns, your hitbox clips through, and you just fall through. Let me speed this up for convenience. Then you have the invisible sprite. So this one might look like magic if you are not properly working, not properly looking at the sprites, which is normal if you're doing RTA attempts, but this is just a view of what's actually there. There's an invisible sprite on the block that's there. So do the same as in the first level, but for some reason, the invisible block sprite that's used in Switch Palaces has a flag set where when you eat it, you're gonna power up. Or you get something in your item box up top. God knows why that is, but it's a thing. So yeah, I figured I'd show it off there. And just fly over it and finish the level. Then after that we have he eateth the keyhole, which is the first time where we're actually going to stun a sprite, which is unintended. So you can see there's an extra shell here for this time. You start off doing the same, grab the Yoshi tongue, and now instead of actually doing the normal thing, we bump into him with a shell. This cancels the eating in a way where if you spit out the sprite that it's trying to eat, it'll stun it instead. But you need a null sprite in your meta for that. So grab that, jump off. Now it thinks the sprite with the sprite slot number you licked is in its mouth, but it actually isn't. And what happens when you crouch and spit it out, you will stun the sprite, which is, in this case, the Dino Rhino. Fun fact about the Dino Rhino is when we go to the unintended spawning thing and look for Dino Rhino, he spawns a keyhole when he's stunned. Because the idea is, right, you have a Koopa shell with a little Koopa Trooper in it, and then that's essentially a stunned Koopa. And the Koopa comes out. That's basically what's happening here. Except it's not supposed to happen here, but it does, so a keyhole spawns. So you wait until some timer expires. You can see on the right it's saying 60 more frames. Then the keyhole spawns. You can go grab the key now. Struggle to grab the key and finish the level. That's easy. Now, next one, same. He ate a gold tape this time, which is a Wiggler that ate the gold tape this time. So if you look at the unintended list here, we look for not a Wiggler, a Pokey actually. He spawns a gold tape. Ooh, But how do we actually get the Pokey to spawn the gold type? That's why we have this one here. If you look at Pokey, we have the stun timer here. Timer for even falling animation. Now there's two ways of actually getting this level to work, and I'm only showing one. I challenge you to find the other way to get this level to work. So do the same thing as before. Throw him off, get a null sprite, get the sprite slot in Yoshi's mouth. And you see the Wigglers here, the Pokeys here. Grab another shell, kick it, and then as the ball is falling, you spit it out so a gold type spawns. Because if you stun him, it pops out the gold type. But now we have an issue because the gold type works, but the actual isn't properly initialized. So the actual touch trigger for it is all the way over at the left, which makes no sense. But it does make sense, but yeah, it's weird. But that's just a little nuance you have to keep in mind there. The elevator. This one's easy. This everyone can do this one. You sort of kill Yoshi, but he stays stuck in the lava, so he tongues something. For now, Sprite slot 8 is tongued on his tongue. So you accidentally spawn the beans on slot 7. So I run back. And now, because the beans spawn on slot 8 and Yoshi has slot 8 on his tongue, it just gets swapped to his tongue. And because beans are cool, you can just sink through floors doing this. Yeah. It is not that hard. Then drilling, surely not. You will have seen this trick in unintended behavior. Just applied differently. So you can see there's an invisible Yoshi and a normal Yoshi, a key, and a bunch of random sprites. These are just to set up the sprite slots. So that this one, right here, is in the correct sprite slot. Which should be, I don't know, 1, I think. In doing so, we will fuck up the tweaker bits. And fucking up the tweaker bits is stuff like star power up, kills me, whatever, I can be burned, no normal interaction with Mario, that stuff is the tweaker bits. It happens for the sprites in slot 1 and 3. And here we're going to do it specifically for the first slot. So, get the start and throw Yoshi off. And now, because I can actually show this, an overslot corruption table. If we spit out a null slot, we mess up stack, some sprite off-screen flag, the licked flag, and then we disable object interaction for slot 3, which is not this one. And then the fourth tweaker slot for slot 1, which we set to 1. And if we set that to 1, that means that means we can kill it with star power. That's basically what it should be. Now you need to kill it in a particular phase of its animation, so you eat the wall, basically. Yeah, that's basically it. You're going to see more of that in this level, actually. So, in the previous level, I mentioned slot 3 being the object interaction flag. That's basically what's going on here. So, we can't have a Kuso hack without block duping. Dupe the thing, get a second Yoshi, have a null sprite in his mouth, spit it out, the key will lose interaction and just fall through the wall. That's basically it. Super easy. Everyone can do this at home. Then you have Jump Through Me, which is a bit jankier, but the same premise as the pipe one, actually. So dupe the block, throw Yoshi off, get a null sprite. And now you can see there's guys in slot 1. When we spit it out, instead of using a star this time, we will be using the disable regular interaction with Mario. So now it doesn't work as an actual info box anymore. Or rather, you can just jump through it now. It's silly, but it works. And then you get a little glitchy ending scene here. Sticks and Stones. This one is a preamble to for more stunning that's gonna happen later. There's gonna be a couple harder stunts we're doing in the hack. This one's a preamble for it. So same setup as always. 1, 2, lick the shell, kick the shell. And now you can see there's a very particular setup here. This functions the same as Sprite stunning via double tongue or the Yoshi hurting with the shell. It's basically this setup. But this is easier because you just lick the shell and Baby Yoshi yoinks it from you. But the game still thinks you have slot 5 in your mouth, but clear you don't. So now, this guy here spawns in slot 5. We're going to ignore him for a very particular reason. We're just going to jump over him, actually, and run away until he despawns. This will freeze all his values, because even though he's not alive, or, like, spawned in, his values are still in RAM. So if you now spit him out all the way at the border, he will still be a dig and chuck, which will spawn a clap and chuck. And remember that setup we did all the way at the beginning of the level? Well, bing bang, we have an orb now. And we just grab the orb. That's basically it. Bridge to fur. This is a double stun setup. So this is the regular stun setup because we love the stun setup. Kick it, do that. Yeah, we've seen the setup a couple times now in the hack. Now you might notice how there's a big gap here, and just this sprite, and another setup for a null sprite. What will happen here is basically we have the piranha plant, the upside down piranha plant, which spawns a wiggler. If you check the wiggler, what the wiggler spawns is a where is he? Should be around here somewhere on the left. He spawns a yellow Koopa Trooper. Interesting, isn't it? A yellow Koopa Trooper. I don't see the wiggler anywhere. Right. Oh, right here in the middle. Yeah, he spawns a yellow Koopa Trooper without shell, which is interesting because we can use that to bridge a gap. How will I bridge a gap? Just make a disco shell. So here I'm waiting for the stun timer of this thing to be correct. So you see the stun timer here on the right. When it says like 46, that's when I'm spinning it out. But I'm waiting for the correct timing. Then I eat the shell, and you have barely enough time to eat the shell and stun the wiggler now. Spit out the wiggler so you have a yellow Koopa Trooper. How you stun the wiggler, by the way, is just by jumping on him. That's how you set this stun timer. And then you just fly over. Easy as that. Intimidating level, not too bad at all. Resonant, this is the first time we do a double tongue glitch. This is just a frame perfect timing glitch. It's not too bad, but yeah, it's still frame perfect. So let me tell you the frame. This is the frame where you have to press the lick key. So when you press it on this frame, Yoshi will do something weird, right? He will stick out his tongue twice. And now you see as I tongued, I ate the P-switch, jumped, and started eating the Koopa, and got damaged. Spit out the Koopa, and that spawns a Resnor. Now you'll see these values here. These are all on 1. These are on 1 because if we look at the sprites also, scroll back, the silver P-switches set this value to 1. There's like a value specifically within the sprite tables. I don't remember which one it exactly is. But the P-switch is set it to 1. Let's see. P-switch. It is this one. So this value for sprites, I don't know, a couple sprite slots, the final few, should be set to 1. And that's why I just put silver P-switches here. Because that'll align it so you don't have to do this. You only have to spawn a Resnor because the Resnor puts it to 1 as well. And now when Resnor respawns, he dies. And the level ends. There's a funny thing that could happen there. Where the floor despawns from under you. Just don't stand on the right like I did. Usually you don't fall through, but there's a chance you fall through. Easy level. And Yoshi Farm, this one is complicated. Because of how Yoshi sucks, right? You see all the sprites also from 0 to 9. There's a star that spawns off screen here. Let me show you. So when Yoshi dies, and the sprite spawns on the same frame, in this case it's the star, it'll become Yoshi for 1 frame. And if C2, if you check Yoshi and we check C2, where's Yoshi? If you check Yoshi and you check C2 face pointer, if it's set to 1, you will still have a riding state stored in your in the game. So one sprite that does this is the star. So if you look for the star, where is it? The star. It has a timer for rising out of block. No, that's the stun timer. The flag to increase on the floor and shouldn't move. This flag is set, which means C2 is set to 1, which in turn means the game thinks I'm still on Yoshi. But there's something weird that's gonna happen because of this. You can see I'm riding Yoshi for 1 frame. Now the game still thinks I'm riding Yoshi, so when I enter the pipe, I'll get a golden Yoshi because the star palette is yellow. And for some reason the game just stores the yellow value to to the Yoshi palette, which acts like a flying Yoshi. A complete Yoshi. Now, next up we have, you see 2 gold points, right? You can't reach the rightmost one. So what do we do? And you see these styles here. This is overslot corruption. Let me check which slot this one is. In the 01, I think that is. Overslot corruption for slot 1. If we check, this is tile, quote unquote, tile D. Yeah, that's 76, but for simplicity's sake, let's say that's tile D. We set a bunch of values for this when we do our Yoshification in a particular way, right? One thing we set is misc table C2 for slot 1. What is C2 for gold shape? C2 for the gold shape is the exposition of the lower exposition of the hitbox. So this box here. We can move that hitbox by, if we now resume this, right? We Yoshify, you see Yoshi despawns, and then you see the rope spawns in the same frame. I ride it for 1 frame because now it thinks it's Yoshi. And on that frame, I spit out the shell I had in my mouth, which will do overslot corruption, and you see the goalpost move. So it looks stupid, but you just have to run through the other goalposts now. Yeah, it's a silly level, but it's cool. This level is just a basic. It's a Koopa Kid kill. This is teaching you how to kill a Koopa Kid that you spawned. So, this is pretty basic. Just do the same as you always do. Our favorite trick. You have a Boo here. If you stun a Boo, this thing here is a Koopa Kid. This could be Roy, this could be Lemmy, this could be Wendy, who knows? This is just basically a Koopa Kid. If you throw enough fireballs at him, he will die. And you'll meet a level. Do not jump on him. Jumping on him breaks this entire thing. Because he will just despawn. It's so stupid. But it works, it works. Nom. This one is sprite swapping on Yoshi's tongue. So you've all seen the SMW cloud glitch. This is basically that, where you collect a coin whilst Yoshi's eating it. Then the gold tape spawns in. Yoshi eats that, and then you can just run through. Usually there's a gold tape here, but since you ate it, you can go through. If you collect this, you fall through. There is a faster way to clear this level, which I'm not going to give you. You'll have to figure that one out for yourself. But I know it's there. Chuxajang. This is a bit of a gauntlet type level. It's not hard, but it's still not free. So same setup as always. You see, there's a Koopaling here, just so you kill it. you just basically want to kill that Koopa Trooper, sorry. Now, you don't actually want to stun this Yoshi, because we're going to do Sprite Swap instead. So, spit it out and eat the chuck there, which is a whistling chuck. Now, what does a whistling chuck give us, you think, right? So scroll all the way up, and we have the whistling chuck here. We have a cape, so we have to check here. Oh, it gives a clapping chuck. And what does a clapping chuck give me if I fire? Oh, look, a sphere. A gold orb, actually. An orb. So, you grab... Oh, look, 5 flowers. Now, why is that free, you might ask? It is to fill the uppermost sprite slots. So it aligns with the Koopa Trooper you tongued at the beginning of the level. This is all sprite slot man-up. So you have the correct slot open, which is 7. So you wait out the start timer because you need to damage this chuck here. Now he spawns in slot 7. You want him to follow you to the side here. You want to hit him and then throw Yoshi off, which gives you the orb. Yippee! This one is, again, just a double tongue. You've seen the timing from earlier, just double tongue. Same setup as earlier, just damage yourself as you're doing it. And spit this out. Sprint there and spit it out as soon as you touch the block. There is a very short timer, which I've already extended via ASM here. When the sprite spawns in on this frame, the stun timer gets set to 22. This is usually 4. I did not want to have the player have a 4 frame window, so I extended it to 22 frames. Which is still not long, because, look, I'm barely in time here when using the block here. Then it spawns a Koopa Kid again, just kill it. Easy enough level, yeah. Kind of does that. This level is a bit harder. It's a double stun again. But is it a double stun? Yeah, it's a double stun. It's not too bad though. Just another double tongue because I'm evil and I like double tongue glitch. Double tongue, stun it. You can kill those two. You don't have to, but if you do, you have higher chance of setting up the battles correctly. So you see, the fish is in slot 8, and if you go back here, whoa, where am I going? Hold on, let me skip through this level. Hold on. Let me skip ahead. Skip ahead a bunch here. Because I accidentally rewound somehow. My bad. If I remember, I'll cut it out of the video. So as you can see, the Galumba's in slot 8. So eat cancel. Now the fish is in slot 8, which has a bit of a randomness to it. But if you do it correctly, you spawn a straight up Piranha Plant through the beta, one that was never used in the actual retail game. We spawn that one then. And you can see there's a Galumba in slot 7, which is very important here. Slot 7 must be empty before you spawn Reznor. Because the Reznor you spawn is quote-unquote the main Reznor that controls all the other 3 Reznors. If that one is not in slot 7, this won't work. So, because it'll only assume it's the main Reznor if it's in slot 7, and it'll only check the rest of the sprite slots if it's in slot 7. Which means you kill the Galumba and spit out the Reznor. You can see he spawns in here for like 1 frame. And now you can see the red numbers here again. They all have to be 1. So we kill the baby Yoshi because he's in a sprite slot we need. And then run to the right and boom, finish level. If you just see this in action, it makes no sense. It's so funny. It makes no sense when you see it in action, but it's such a fun level. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. So, sorry for that. Next level is the Bluetooth device, which is a dumb name, but it's a dumb level. You have 2 inaccessible keyholes, a Yoshi, and a key. Why is the key to the left, you might ask? That is because it is in a lower sprite slot than the actual keyholes, which allows for, and I don't know how to explain this glitch. You'll have to look at the glitch list for this. But if you align it properly, and scroll left here, you can just do that. I do not understand it. It just works. Exam time. This level's hard. I understand why you wouldn't want to clear this level, which is completely fair. This level, 2 exits. You just do a couple glitches, easy zips here. Because it's Kuso after all, you need a zip in Kuso. You grab the key. You see 2 keyholes there. We're going to ignore this for now. That's for the quote-unquote other exit. We're ignoring the other exit right now. Hard drive go burr. Now, you do this a couple times. And you want to grab the key. 2 keys. It doesn't matter which 2, as long as they're not in the highest sprite slot. So do not... I don't want to grab the blue one, in this case, for instance. So move this guy up. I picked up the blue one. Drop it there. A bit of guesswork with our tools. It's possible to get it there. And the reason I wanted those 2, and not the highest one, is because the keyhole just ignores every other key. It'll ignore every key except the dark blue one. This has a Yoshi. You zip back over. Now you might be already guessing what's going to happen here. We drop a Yoshi down here, and if you look there, you see the bouncing on the right here. That's a star power-up, as you might have guessed. Now we want to dupe as many keys as we can, until you see the highest sprite slot 1 warp, because that means every sprite slot is occupied, which is basically what we want, right? We bring a key as well, because we need it. Then we Yoshify it. And this is not 100% consistent. And this is why I understand why you wouldn't want to clear this level. It works most of the time, but not all the time. So if you fail this, you have to redo the entire thing, and that can be hella annoying. So I understand. I totally understand why you wouldn't want to do this level. So bring the key through. You're on Yoshi now with a key. Ditch the Yoshi, because we need a shell instead. Now, where did we get the shell from? There's a thing in Mario World where if you dupe sideways, you can get a shell. Now, I should have probably waited during the video here with the shell, but he was waking up, so I just kicked him instead. You can just let the Koopa Trooper get out like that. And then you fly over. And that's the exam. It's not too hard, but I understand that it's not the easiest level either. And now, the next level is Baby's first credit swap. But before that, we wanna do the secret exit as well in this one, which is basically grab the key, go around, jump up here and take the keyhole. This just unlocks. You got a 0 now. You failed the exam basically. That's what the level is. And this is Baby's first credit swap. You kill the bullet. You get a silver Yoshi, because he set C2 as well. Skip all this. Now, here, you can't see the tiles, but basically the tiles on this area is 1C. Which if we check now, always 0, we set misc table for slot 4, position for the players, Xbox high byte. We set the low position. We set an empty byte. And oh look, game mode. Yoshi X position. So based on Yoshi's X position, we can change the game mode. Now you might have noticed I was walking into a wall here. This is a heavily assisted credit swap in the way that there's a wall at an exact coordinate where if you do the Yoshification properly by holding right when you jump off, you will do the credit swap. You are prone to crashing here. There's a crash handler in the hack for just this. But if you do it properly, you will do a credit swap. Because the wall is perfectly set for Yoshi to basically not get through there. Well, sorry, the player. Yoshi can still pass through it, but if you cancel all momentum and do the Yoshification here, so you can see the stuff disappears. That's because I hit the trick. Boom, you fade out, and there you go. That's basically the hack. Let me close this. No, let me reset. And then plug in a controller. 1 second. We all end up here. That's basically how you all end up here. 21 exits. Not too bad. 21 exits plus a credit swap, so that last level doesn't count. Technically, you don't have to do it, but, you know. Yeah, that's that. There we go. We all end up here. Hope you had fun with the hack. Thank you for playing. I hope I explained it well enough. And yeah, hope you can complete it. Have a good one.